Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm gonna show you how do I propagate my rose cuttings in different ways. Roses are very beautiful and growing them by stems vary on the different climates or weather on your country. Sometimes it is so frustrating when you don't have the green thumb and you can't grow even just a single stems. But don't worry, there's always a way how to grow your rose. So I'm gonna show you the steps that I tried in growing rose cuttings, and it maybe works with you guys. So check out. Well, most of the gardener do the prunings. So when you cut your rose cuttings, you have to make sure that your scissor or your trimmer is clean, away from insects as what they say, and you have to wipe it with bleach or some ammonia just to make sure it's clean and the disease is not there. Now I do the cuttings already, so I have here the stems of the rose just to make sure that every stem is just like 8 inches. It doesn't need to be very tall and very short, just enough. And I have to make sure that it has 4 nodes or 4 nodules remain, such as this 1, 2, 3, this one here, and this is number 4. And when I cut the cuttings, the stems, it is like this. It is slanting way with the nodules or the nodes on the tip, so that the roots will grow from here. And just cut the thorns that's left behind on the bottom of the stems, and just cut the remaining leaves over here and just left 2 or 3 twigs of leaves, as the rose or the stems will get its photosynthesis from the leaves. So that's it. Just the same with other cuttings that I have, just to make sure that the rose cuttings that you get is the young one, which is near from the, this is a little bit dry because I already cut this yesterday, just to make sure that you get it from the young stems, or it's okay from the old wood or old stems of the rose, because that will really make sure that they will grow. Okay, so I just cut them on slanting and with cut the thorns at the bottom. Let's have it. After cutting, you can place them on the sealing bag, just a short one, seal bag or the ziplock, and then you can just seal them and put them on the fridge, just to seal the wounds that's been done at the tip of the bottom or the bottom of the stems. When you try to plant them on the ground, and it takes a lot of patience to wait for them, you don't need to keep them moving or keep them touching, as the growth is very delicate and very sensitive. So when you try to plant them directly on the soil, you can use a pure honey and just put just soak the tip or the bottom of the stem on the honey, or you can use the rooting hormone gel, or you can find it like on Bunnings or any like garden thing, rooting hormone gel or rooting hormone powder. So you can use them, just coat the tip of the rose on this thing, as they will help let your cuttings grow with more roots easily. And then you can plant them directly to the ground. And just be sure you can cover 2 inches or 3 inches of the stems, just to make sure that you will give more space to let the roots grow on the soil. Next step is I use warm water. It is warm, I did not use cold, and I'm just gonna put few teaspoons of Epsom salt. It is important that it's Epsom salt and not the table salt that you are using on your kitchen. Just put a little one, few teaspoons, as this will help your what is this? Your rose cuttings to get more minerals from the Epsom salt, and just soak them there. For next step again, you can use, if you have USANA minerals, core minerals, you can cut or get some pieces of this and soak it in the water and let your rose cutting soak in it, as this USANA gives minerals and foods to the plants as well. Next step is you have to seal the top of the rose using a wax, candle wax. Let's see this one. Just to make sure it's coated with wax. As this will prevent our rose cuttings to be dry very fast. If you're soaking the rose cuttings in the water, you have to change the water every 2 days or 3 days just to make sure the bacteria is not present in the water. And you have to wait until the rose cutting makes its own roots up to 3 weeks. So that's how far it's gonna be. But you have to make sure you have the long patience for your rose cuttings, because it's not that hard to grow them, but it is sensitive and they are delicate. Do not easily give up when you try to grow roses, because it takes a lot of time and a long patience for you to do it. As a gardener, we need to have knowledge as well on how to grow our own roses, or we can experiment or explore many ways on how to grow them. Just like roses, they need also tender loving care, but not too much and not less, just enough for them to grow.